It's great because we're just always kind of focused on the next thing, you know? I mean, I know that we've put out, uh, I mean, the fewer records, studio albums, you know, recently, which really wasn't, you know, I think just with everything that happened in the year that we won't talk about, the we probably would have done more, but you know, I mean, we still managed to stay busy. It's my dog, Lila.
Well,
Um, hey, what up? We managed to stay busy, and we're really stoked about the new album. We really, really like it, and it's one of those things that's like, I think it's, I mean, at least in my tenure in the band, it's my favorite thing that we've done. Just because it kind of touches on a lot of stuff that we haven't done before, and I think we pulled it off, and it's, you know, has continuity to it, and you know, it's like you're always with being in the band this long and stuff, that you always try and put a set list together that represents the things that you know people want to hear, that you want to play, and obviously when it's a new record, you know, and people aren't too familiar with it, you don't want to put too much out there, but it's kind of like I mean, we'd like to play the whole damn thing, you know, but we don't have time, so we're gonna, you know, we want to lean into it though, so we'll probably be doing more, you know, when we do this Clutch tour, we're the first of three, so we won't be playing, I think, only like 40 minutes, so not a lot of time to put a lot of stuff in, but yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to doing our own headlining thing in the States probably sometime next year. But yeah, I mean, that's really the thing, is just knowing that we have a really good new record out that we really like is super satisfying, you know?
yeah, and the record sounds great. And I was just watching your live Hellfest thing, and you guys played at least a few songs from the new album, and it seemed extremely well received. Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
Rad songs.
they've really gone over pretty well, and they're just like, they feel really good to play them live, and they're kind of like, at least, you know, from a drummer standpoint, you kind of are always sort of fighting that adrenaline thing and not trying to play too fast, you know. But those songs especially, I think you really have to watch the tempos and be aware that if you think it's a little too fast or a little too slow, actually it's not. It's right in the pocket, you know. And but those songs in particular, I think we were playing like Return of Tomorrow, Loch Ness, Wrecking Machine, and Hands of the Zodiac. And all of those, you can really tell if they're in the thing, if they're in the right pocket, if you look and you see people's heads doing this. So
Right.
one beat slightly less or more, the heads don't move the right way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, I love that. It's instant feedback right there, and that's what your guys' music is about. It's like it's always been about just that chug that I heard described as like if you can like pick up an up like a heavy book and like drop it down in time, that's how you know a song is good.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I like, you watch those people, you know, at the festivals, like doing the wall of death to like our stuff, you know, and I'm just gonna like, whoa, I thought that was only for like, you know, super fast stuff, but then they just pick it and there's like whatever moves them. So I'm happy to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Wall
Uh,
of death.
that's great. I've played in some bands that were just like I'm like I can't believe people are moshing right now. Like it was like
Yeah,
some corny Americana band. I'm like people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and
exactly. Let
uh
them do it.
let
Yeah,
them do it. I mean,
let them do it.
so Return of Tomorrow was your first album in 6 years. So and you were talking. Was music more recently made, or was it over that whole time period? Was it over that year that we don't talk about?
Well, I mean, we actually, so the plan was, in that year, what we were going to do, since this was our 30th anniversary, is we were going to do 3 EPs of 3 songs each, you know, so two new ones and like a cover on each one. And so that's what we did, and you know, it ended up being stretched out because we couldn't go in the studio and stuff. But we did actually put all of those together in a release that came out. It was basically a kind of a compendium of volume 1 through 3, but we didn't want to put them out in order of how they were released, so we sequenced it like it was a record, you know, so that way it had a, you know, a nice flow to it. So it's not just, the order of how the EPs came out. And then we did a special packaging, which was like, kind of a mirrored, embossed thing. I don't know if you saw it. It looks like the Kiss Double Platinum record, and it's just called Volume 1 through 3. So, I mean, the idea with that was, I don't know if it was me or Bob that was like, we should do this like this, and it'll be kind of like our own version of Diver Down, with our covers, and then we got what's his name from Clutch? Oh, Neil, the singer. I was just gonna say Fallon, but that's not his last his last name. So Neil, the Grand Wizard of Neil, who writes the best lyrics in rock. Condoleezza Rice is nice, but I deserve a Roni. I prefer a Roni, that's right. So we got him to sing on Million Miles Away on the Plimsoll song, which was, from Valley Girl. And we did the Surf Punks, My Wave, and then obviously the Doobie Brothers song was on there. And then we threw on the Working Man cover that we did, the Rush song, at the end of it, and we had done that as just sort of a charity single on the anniversary of Neil's passing, to just try to put forth money for the Cedars-Sinai brain cancer research. So it was just a digital single. We never released it, but they gave us permission to put it out on this, so that was cool of them. That's
super cool.
Yeah.
What was like the process of recording all of this? Like, where do you guys have your own studios? Do you guys prefer?
We have a studio. Well, no, we don't have a studio, but we've been working with Jim Monroe, who is actually at a place called the Racket Room in Santa Ana for I think since Clone of the Universe. So we worked with him on that, and then we recorded everything there. And so we would just go in, we pretty much, it's 3 songs because you knock it out in a day as far as the drum tracks go, and just tried to have them ready. And, when we had, we had everything for the first one done at the beginning of 20. And then, as things went along, we kind of went back in 21, I think. And then maybe in 22 got the third one out. So instead of 3 in 1 year, it was 3 every year, or 1 every year, I should say. I can't count. What the hell? So that was kind of like, instead of just having there be such a lull in new material, we had planned. we would go on the road and play those songs, and we did. I think the last tour we were doing like Strange Plan, and there's definitely other ones. We did the Working Man cover, and we'll probably revisit it. But I really like the running order of that too, and how it turned out. And the way it was recorded. It's a pretty good, time capsule or a good bumper between records. And then this one, we pretty much took all of last year to just kind of write and arrange and get ready. We went in, we did the drums in November. At a place called Studio in Simi Valley, really nice drum room there, and then it usually takes us about 3 weeks to do a record, from start to finish, recording, mix, mastering. This one took about a month and a half, just because it was a double, and we were doing it over the holidays, so because we were trying to get it done before the end of the year, but that didn't work. So, but yeah, we were really, really well rehearsed. I did the drums for the whole record in a day, and then we also did it like in order too. So, and most of that stuff that's on there is like first or second takes. So no third takes. We didn't use any third takes.
Wow.
So I was
on to do in a day.
Yeah, but it's varied as far as the material goes, and there's definitely, I guess this thing. We don't work on stuff in the studio. I don't think anybody does that now, because you just don't have the time. So you better have your shit together when you go in there, because it's not, you don't want to waste time doing it. So yeah, we were really well rehearsed, and it went pretty quickly. And I just kept knocking them out, and those guys were like, I was like, I'm good with it. I'm happy with it. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's go to the next one. Okay. We took a break. We came back. We did record number 2. which was in a way a little bit harder because you had to sort of reserve because a lot of it was the mellower stuff and longer drawn out. But even those songs that are a little bit longer, I think they were like, you know, all of them were like one take. You know, maybe two, but that's it. So
Yeah. Well,
I got lucky. I don't think that'll ever happen again, but you know, who knows? You never know.
I was like, yeah. Are you just a one take wonder? Has that always been your thing?
No, not at all. I mean, it's usually like, I don't like to do more than 3 takes unless I'm, you know, if I'm screwing up a section a lot, then I don't have a problem like, okay, the first half was good, we'll punch in the last half. That's fine. And I don't use clicks, so I can pretty much play to what I've done and then, you know, drop in. But yeah, I mean, it's usually, if I can't get it in 3, then I would just rather move on to something else and come back to it, you know, because you're just not, you know, I know people like to beat things over the head, and you hear those stories about people doing 30 takes. I mean, that's bullshit, because you always end up coming back to the first or second thing you did anyways. So I just don't, you know, and it's like, I'm not going to split hairs if there's like a slight mistake or something, you know, unless it's glaring and, you know, it's a bass drum placement or something, then it's kind of like, it depends on the session too. I mean, if it's our stuff, then, you know, we have the final say. If it was somebody else and they were kind of like, you know, I think we should do maybe a couple more, you know, and do it a little bit differently, then that's I don't have an issue with that. That's fine, you know, because that's just part of somebody's process. So
Yeah. Interesting.